Wholesaling real estate is the perfect way to make an active income and build a real estate investing business in Nevada. The process of wholesaling real estate involves finding discounted properties, getting them under contract, and then selling those contract rights to an end buyer, typically a fix and flipper at a higher price. Now in this video, I'm going to cover how to wholesale real estate step by step in Nevada by going into the strategies we've used to successfully wholesale real estate over the last decade. And be sure to download our state-by-state guide on how to wholesale real estate in the description down below. So first off, what is wholesaling real estate? You as an investor, you secure the rights to purchase a property. You then sell those rights to another buyer for a profit. And the most common method used to sell the contract rights is called the assignment of contract. Now here's an example of how wholesaling works. Let's say you find a property that is distressed and you're able to get it under contract at the purchase price of $200,000. Now instead of going all the way through and buying this property, you're just simply going to get it under contract. And for this property, you get it under contract at the price of $200,000, and then you sell the contract for $210,000. Now what you make is the difference between the $200,000 price where you got the property under contract at and the $210,000 price where your end buyer is buying it. So in this case, there's a $10,000 difference and you earn that as a wholesale fee, also known as your wholesale profit. And this was all without having to actually buy the property yourself. You just had to get the property under contract initially. So at a high level, this is how wholesaling works in Nevada, but now let's dive into each step. Step one for wholesaling successfully in Nevada is picking your real estate market. Now, what we recommend to get started is to actually start where you're located in Nevada. For example, if you're in Las Vegas, Henderson, or Reno, then start in the city and county you're already living in. And I want to recommend this because you're already local to the area. You can drive to a property to view it when you need to. And you can also meet with real estate agents locally who are listing and selling great properties that you can wholesale in your area. Additionally, when you start in your own local market, you already know more than you think you know. You probably know the up and coming areas. You know the more desirable areas. You know the bad areas that have crime and homelessness. You know the areas where there's new developments going in, so the values are appreciating. And all of this knowledge can actually give you an edge against others who don't have this information, because all of these factors will affect the desirability and the price of the properties you're wholesaling. Now, step two, very important, is finding 3 to 5 quality and local cash buyers in your area that you can wholesale deals to. So cash buyers are the real estate investors, typically fix and flippers, that are buying multiple deals per month from wholesalers. So what we recommend is finding these cash buyers first so you can understand their buying criteria and get the exact deals that they want and know the exact areas where they want to buy. So for example, some cash buyers only want to buy in Reno, Nevada. But if you're located in Las Vegas, then we want to find cash buyers that are buying in Las Vegas, Nevada, because this will increase the likelihood of your success and allow you to get the highest wholesale fees possible because your buyers that are local want to buy deals there. So how do we find these cash buyers? Well, let me tell you about the Google ninja trick that we created. So for example, if you're located in Las Vegas, Nevada, and you want to find cash buyers there, and go to Google and type in "sell my house fast Las Vegas." What will appear in the organic search results are real estate investors who've already invested into their website so that they can actually rank organically for those search terms. And this is because these investors, they're cash buyers, they want to find motivated sellers with their website. They want motivated sellers to come to them. So we pretend like we're a motivated seller who's interested in selling our own house by typing in that specific key phrase, and then we actually find these cash buyers on the internet. Now, if you've used Google before, this is not something that takes hours. It can actually take minutes and seconds using this strategy. And if you want our free guide on how to best find cash buyers using Google with additional keywords and phrases to find more cash buyers, you can go to realestateskills.com/Google, and you can also grab that in the description where the link is located. Now, this is just one of several ways to find cash buyers, so be sure to check out our YouTube channel if you want to learn more ways. Now, step number 3 is finding wholesale deals on the MLS. The MLS stands for the Multiple Listing Service, and it's the database of all motivated sellers on the market in your area. And it's an extremely powerful tool for finding properties that you can wholesale. And here's one of my favorite strategies for finding great wholesale deals on the MLS. It's called our Day Zero strategy. With this strategy, you find all the new listings that have come on the market in the last 24 hours. So we find all those listings, and let's say there's 50, and we look for the distressed listings in there. It's not going to be all 50. It might be 5 or 10, and we want to focus on those 5 or 10 and give those our attention. And why we love this strategy is because these are brand new distressed properties that have just gone active on the market, and they need to go all cash. They need to go to investors like wholesalers and fix and flippers. So why not you? And if you can be first to the punch, one of the first to call the agent, and potentially you have a high chance of getting this deal under contract. And throughout the years, us and our clients, we've gotten dozens and dozens and dozens of properties under contract that we've either wholesaled or flipped or bought as rental properties solely because we were the first ones to call in this strategy property and give a professional and quality offer that they like. And if you want a free training that goes in depth on the MLS and how to get the most out of it for wholesaling, flipping, and getting cash flowing rentals, just check out realestateskills.com/watch, and I'll put that in the description down below. Now, step 4 for wholesaling real estate in Nevada is now calling and talking to real estate agents. So once you use the strategy that I told you, you've identified a property, and now you want to call the actual real estate agent who's in charge of the deal. Now, the great thing about using the MLS is that typically their contact information is on there. So the agent's phone number, their email, and you can give them a call and make sure that this property is actually distressed. Make sure that this property is actually going to go to a real estate investor. Now, keep in mind, we only want to call on properties that are in a distressed condition, that need fixing up, and where the seller is in a distressed situation. Now, sometimes when we're looking at a property in the description of it, agent's not going to tell us immediately from the listing description that the seller's in a distressed situation. A lot of times this comes up in the phone conversation with the actual real estate agent. So we need to give the agent a call, figure out the seller's situation and what's their motivation to sell. Now, from calling the agent, we can also get additional information about the property. What types of renovation or repairs does this property need? Are there any special features? And what does the agent think this house will sell for in its best possible condition? So on this call, we extract as much information as possible, and we call this the discovery call because we're discovering more and more about this deal and the seller's situation. Now, once we have an effective discovery call, it's time for step 5, which is analyzing the deal. Now, at this particular time, we want to determine a few numbers. The first important number is called the ARV. This stands for the after repair value, and this is the estimated future market value of the property after it's been repaired. The next important number is to determine the cost of repairs. This is the estimated amount that it takes to repair this property to its best possible condition. Now, from there, we decide on our desired wholesale fee. We like to put $10,000 because we feel that this is a very fair number for us to work on a deal and to assign those contract rights and to get paid for it. And sometimes you're going to make a lot more, and sometimes you're going to make less than that, but 10,000 is a great starting point. And lastly, now we're able to determine the purchase price. This is the actual offer price you'll be offering on the property and where you will get it under contract at. Now, a common formula used in order to find your maximum allowable offer, which is the maximum purchase price you can send to then get a deal under contract and wholesale it to a cash buyer. Well, how we do this is we start to multiply your ARV by 70%. So for example, if your ARV was $500,000, multiply that by 70%, which would then be $350,000. Then you subtract your estimated repair costs. And in this scenario, let's say it's $40,000. So subtract that by $350,000. Now we have $310,000. Then subtract your desired wholesale fee. Let's say it's $10,000. And now you have $300,000. And this is your maximum allowable offer price using that 70% rule. Now, if you get the property under contract at $300,000, you have a very high likelihood wholesaling this deal to a cash buyer and making your $10,000 wholesale fee. Now, that is a simple rule of thumb. And in our experience, if you want to have more competitive offers and you want to get more offers accepted, we recommend using 80% of the ARV rather than 70% because this will allow you to offer at a higher price. It will allow you to be more competitive and still give you a very high likelihood of making $10,000 on that deal. What I love to use for every single wholesale and flip deal and what we've been doing for the last decade is not using a simple formula like that. We use our deal calculator, which calculates our profit down to the cent and all of our costs down to the cent. So it's much more accurate. And if you want to grab that for wholesaling deals in Nevada, just go to realestateskills.com/calculator. Also put that in the description. And so once you analyze the deal, it's time for step number 6, which is submitting offers and negotiating. And this is arguably the most important step because you cannot wholesale a deal. You cannot get a deal under contract unless you submit an offer. It's absolutely vital to send professional offers, meaning you cannot send an offer that has a 90-day closing time frame when the seller wants to close in 14 days. Additionally, we need to use contract terms that real estate agents are familiar using with real estate investors. For example, a clean professional offer will have minimal contingencies and a quicker closing time frame, such as a 3 to 7 day inspection contingency and a 14-day close, maybe a 10-day close. Now, this is a very quick closing time frame, but it's helpful for a lot of sellers who are in a distressed situation and need to quickly get out of the situation that they're in. Now, keep in mind, with most offers, an earnest money deposit will be due, also known as an EMD. This is a good faith deposit that you put down on the property, and it's typically due within 72 hours of getting the property under contract. Now, these deposits are variable and can range anywhere from $500 to $10,000, and it really depends on what's most common in your area and the price points of properties we're getting under contract. Additionally, this deposit is typically refundable, but always be sure to check your contract. Contract is the law of the land, and you want to abide by that. Most of the times, they are refundable. And if you want to check out the contracts that we use for wholesaling real estate in Nevada, just go ahead and get them at realestateskills.com/contracts, and I'll put that link in the description down below. Now, one of the most important pro tips I can give you about wholesaling real estate and being able to do this without any risk is to include an inspection contingency in your contract. contract. Most of the times, if you're starting out, at least 7 days. What this does is it gives you 7 days to inspect the property and 7 days to back out of the property due to the inspection. And if you can't find a buyer, once again, in that time frame, then what we're able to do is back out due to the inspection. Now, as a wholesaler, you are a real estate investor, and these are the terms that will get you taken seriously and make your offers stand out and make your offers even more attractive. But keep in mind, you want to be a solutions provider. So if a seller does need 30 days to close, make sure that your closing date is 30 days from now. So always be sure to be accommodating with your terms to the seller in order to have the most attractive offers possible. Now, additionally, in order for your offers to be professional and credible, always include a proof of funds on each and every offer you send. This is documentation that says you have access to the funds needed in order to purchase the property. Now, there's many ways to get these from hard money lenders, private money lenders, but you need this proof of funds in order to be taken seriously and get your offers accepted. If you want to download our free guide on how to get a proof of funds instantly and for free, just go to realestateskills.com/proof, and I'll also put that in the description down below. Now that we know how to submit strategic and quality offers, it's time for step 7. It's my favorite step. It's closing the deal and getting paid. This is the final stage where you're going to assign your contract rights to the end buyer. That end buyer is going to officially close on the deal by paying the seller for the property. And you're going to assign the contract by letting the title and escrow companies know the assignment terms by sending them your assignment contract. This contract will outline our wholesale fee for the transfer of property rights and is signed by all parties involved in order to solidify the assignment. Once again, you can grab an example assignment contract by going to the description down below. Now, once the deal is officially closed, you will either be wired the wholesale fee to your bank account or get cut a check from the title and escrow company. And now at this point, you've collected a $10,000 wholesale fee, possibly more, and that's exactly how to wholesale real estate in Nevada. Now, lastly, from wholesaling and investing in real estate across the country for years, something is very apparent, that there's still an abundance of opportunity out there. And anyone, including busy people with full-time jobs, those that want to get started, can still tap into this and start building the real estate investing business that they've always wanted. And I've created a free training that walks you through our MLS offer system process. And so if you want to check this out, just go to realestateskills.com/watch. You'll be able to check it out for free. In this training, I'm going to cover number 1, the best place to find, fix and flip wholesale deals and also rental properties. 2, how to get these deals on demand with consistency and predictability from the MLS. And 3, how to close deals with buyers who are actually ecstatic to work with you, pay you large wholesale fees. I'm talking $10,000 plus. Now, there's no obligation or risk to you watching the training. Chances are you're going to walk away from it with some great ideas on how to improve your real estate investing business, just like a ton of the real estate investors in our community are using these methods to get deals around the clock. So I'll see you at the training. This is Alex Martinez with realestateskills.com. Happy wholesaling.